Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? Okay, Radiant, let's talk about it. I freaking called this last week. I knew we were getting a full section of a backstory, which I'm okay with. I think these are why these shows are more entertaining and more like they get more response from me is because they take the time and effort to make me care about characters who could personally be destroyed within an episode or so, regardless of their character development that they get throughout the present, like the couple episodes that they're in. Hold on. Excuse me. But I thought that was a very beautiful way of telling a story. Like, understand that in a movie, they have the time and all the information that they want to do for their villains. They have, like, compelling reasons why they are doing certain things. But with an anime and just how sometimes battles are so much more important, and then seeing the hero subdue somebody who has an ability we haven't seen in the show before and things like that, or in the movie, it's this weird thing where if certain characters in a movie, like for instance, like Black Panther or um, there's a lot. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank on some really good movie. Okay, like Never Back Down, Blade movies. Like there's some decent, like more like the second Blade, not the first one. There was the bad guy. The first one was trash, but the first Blade or the second Blade movie had a compelling person because it went from him being the main focus to finding out that he was just as much in like a test subject as everyone else. So with that being said, when animes go this extra yard to really sometimes flesh out as much story as they can, with knowing they have as many episodes as they do, it's like they're not afraid to be like, hey, we're really going to make you understand why this girl who is cursed, who has lost her friends, who lost them to this town 15 years ago, and after losing them, she then gets exiled as a nemesis practically. So, um, she was just, and that's how every townsperson saw her. Not just the army and the people holding her captive. Everybody in the town before was screaming and shouting to execute him and stuff like that. So it also makes sense where Comrade's morality comes from. It came from 15 years ago of a town that, without even him telling them to be like, hate immigrants and hate sorcerers, they already did for some reason. So it's funny to me. I mean, and what we probably don't see, which the manga might elaborate on more, and as a channel, I almost want to like just go and make a series as well as like, what did the make the series like, what did the manga do right, or what did the manga get left out? Something about the manga's content and just what could be elaborated on to make a story in the anime even more, uh, just hold more longevity or something along those lines. But really interested now in just if that is how it is, because I mean, imagine if Conrad's out there doing what he was doing, like in this week's episode or last week's episode, when he's just like yelling and making up lies about immigrants and the people in town working together with them and stuff like that. What if he's continuously doing that at that time and we just didn't get to see it because we didn't need to know that aspect because we already knew he hated him, and that if the townspeople were behind it, not a lot of people were going to go against the actual accusation of taking them out or having them executed. So what does Comrade do? He sneaks the kids out and acts as if they're free, quote unquote, and practically puts them in a dead end, and all but one kid survives out of the four, and that is our whistleblower. And man, did I want to go in that town and just be that same guy who was rushing through people, but I don't know why he was rushing through people without taking heads, without skewering backs. This is why the infected in the humans' eyes, I feel like, are so just uncared about, because hey, you you're getting beat up and this and that. We're actually beating you kids to death because of something like this, and pretty much smiling about it from the eyes of the whistleblowers. She literally was on the ground level with those people doing that stuff and probably got hit a couple times. So she knows exactly what types of faces they were making, unless her mind projected stuff that she thought she was gonna see or something. That don't make no sense. You have to be traumatized because you can see this stuff, and vividly imagine it for the rest of your life. So to know that they were probably enjoying beating kids to death just because they seemingly were cursed on something that getting so close isn't scary to them, they still went through with it. So justice shall come. Maybe, because Grimm's over here protecting all these people from the new people who are like, I wasn't even here 15 years ago. I was just a baby boy. Or like, that doesn't include me. Just trying to get out for themselves, which is hilarious. Like, oh, she's gonna be like, yeah, oh, who said that? Okay, yeah, move, jump, up, down, up. Yeah, okay, yeah, let that guy out. Let him in the gate. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you are excluded. Everybody else dies. Like, no, bro. Like, you're done for. You need to start rivaling the people, man. You need to get up there and crash down this falling down system, man. Shoot. But overall, I truly thought that we were going to see her snap out a little bit more, which is interesting to know that the one who snapped out the most was Seth, over explanation that he accepts as pretty much law. He's like, comrade, you did that and you made this town evil. Bruh, that was the first time I've seen Seth's pupils finally look like just complete rabid dog. Like, I'm going to try to actually break every bone in your body. Like, that kid is losing it when he gets when he first deflects it with his one hand towards the ground and sends him up, but then when he smacks him again after that, which Comrade's pretty freaking raw. Like, if we're looking at a stepping stone for Seth, this is a huge step. This is like 5 steps. Some people, like Kimito's first step after he finds out he's stuck in the game for life. You know what his first step was, guys? A freaking wolf that he cut one time and killed. Seth is fought nemesis that are considered demons to humans because they can't even touch him. Not to mention his true now actual step, in my opinion, is this man, because he actually stands for everything Seth is against. And the nemesis are something that clearly might have more of a consciousness and more of heart than this guy, seeing how they can enjoy music. And I bet if you play music to those same ones, they might not attack. They might not hurt people. Whoa, crazy thought, right? That nemesis might actually be better than comrade. But that is just a theory for this week's episode, because I could be proven wrong by next week. They're about to snap out, so they could do some messed up stuff. But I have faith that Grimm is about to go in, because if Grimm gets surpassed by Seth in like I want to say 6-7 episodes, it's gonna be a sad day for that man. Why did Seth go and use the band-aids or the bandages, unless and correct, and everybody who doesn't want to be spoiled and actually know, sorry, I'm moving around, I'm actually thinking about this right now. If you guys don't want to know, and because it might be explained in the next week's episode, Grimm, after finding out what Seth was about, healed him up and stuff and gave him the bandages. Wait, no, he didn't do none of that. He didn't do any of that. He just showed up. Okay, so somehow Seth, this man, witnessed Grim do what? He's witnessed Grim twice, right? And he saw the bandages absorb an attack from the cannons and then shoot them back out. I am not saying that he absorbed the power from this spear to then do skull burst and have 7 to 8 skulls surrounding him while punching with probably Phantasma at all the same time, or a skull in his own general in his hand for the ending blow. But not to mention, it seemingly was very, very easy for him to do. Like, he looked like he wasn't straining himself. He didn't look like he was caught off guard by any of these attacks anymore. After he learned what Comrade was going to continuously throw at him, even the shot of the tip of the spear wasn't surprising to him, because I don't think he's ever used it, and he didn't even get hit by it the first time it's used. Seth, you're going in, my boy. Oh man, this episode was so hype. Not to mention, we still got our freaking girl who is like, she has her split personality, but not to mention she's using spells that I never expected her to use as her dopey, cute, like, chill form. So if she keeps growing, Seth's gonna be able to practically do anything she does. Like, this kid is close to being very, very broken, and I hope towards the end of the series we can be talking about this kid in battles with other characters that are also broken just because of some of his hacks or something like that. So bear in there with me, guys. We got a good amount of episodes left. I believe it's like 24. So yeah, and if we actually give this show the props it deserves, I mean, unless you really don't like it and you want to drop into the comments why you don't really care for this show, I will definitely listen to that. But it deserves a season 2. It deserves a finishing of the manga, if the manga is even close to finishing or even has a plan on finishing, because One Piece is such an inspiration nowadays. Why stop a manga when you can keep going? So with that all being said, guys, I still gotta watch Sword Art Online, so I'm actually gonna end it right here. So thank you so much for the support. Shout out to the people who make me hype and even more have my expectations even higher for this show because of my previous reviews. We're getting like these awesome comments, guys. If you haven't seen the comments on the last videos, go check them out. It might even get you hyped, because when people say these things, it just makes me happy. So thank you again. I am the Anime G. I drop content on every single pretty much anime out there. I got a Discord that I talk to with one buddy of mine, so if any of my anime people want to jump into a Discord with me and be able to have a voice chat and send pictures or just talk about anime at any time and we get notifications from each other, let me know about that. And also, I hope you guys have a good day, night, evening, whatever the case is. And if you wouldn't mind supporting the other videos, every like helps and it puts us out there. I dropped from like 53 subs to 51, and I'm back at 53 now. Like, people are just like, oh, I don't even care for this guy anymore. Peace. So I don't even know what is going on in that aspect. So I'm trying to put out as much content still as possible. So if you guys have any ideas for any more other content you want to see from me, let me know and I'll try to work on it. But yeah, I'm probably going to be on Twitch too. So if you have any questions about any of my other platforms, I will be gladly to tell you. So with that, everybody, peace.